So communication. A document or message imparting news, views, or information. We all seem to fall short here. Communication is one of those things that sounds so simple and is really so difficult. It takes a lot of work. And let me give you an example. This involves another family member. This is my son, Alex. How many of you have ever raised teenage boys? They go through a phase where they don't really shower or brush their hair. It's usually before they notice the girl phase. It's not a fun phase to live in as a family member. And every morning that Alex would be downstairs when he was about 12, he would not brush his hair. His hair would be all over the place. He's going to head out the door. That didn't work for me. So I would tell him to go back upstairs and brush his hair. We have this argument every morning. So I finally decided to take another approach. And I sat him down and I explained to him why it was important to brush his hair before he went to school. And he listened. And he nodded. So okay, yep, okay. We all think that means got it. He went upstairs, brushed his hair, went off to work. I went off to school. The next day he came down, hair is all over the place. He's not brushed his hair. I'm like, Alex, why didn't you brush your hair? He said, oh, you meant every day. Communication is a lot of hard work. It's consistency. It's done with grace. We hear things through our own filters. Communication is one of the toughest things we do, and one of the most important things we're going to do as business owners. So key things for communication, we have 4 audiences: employees, clients, referral sources, and prospects. And those are in the order I believe are most important. The first group of people you need to be communicating with are your employees. And who taught me how to do that better than anyone else in 2009 is a gentleman named Mike Maurizio, who was in the C12 group with me, and he owns a company called Scout Advisors. And they built the software that Major League Baseball teams input all their stats and use to recruit. And it's fascinating. So he is in and knows all the people in the Red Sox and the Yankees. Whatever. But it's a very cool company. He's a very great guy. What he does, he believes his team is the most important to continuing to grow that business. So he has weekly Monday inspirations. And I love this. He spends all week reading and figuring out what he's going to bring to his team to inspire them. And sometimes that's a business book, and sometimes that's from the Bible. There's all different pieces. But he clearly believes it's his job to inspire that team and communicate where they're going. So every Monday, he sees himself as aligning that team each week. And then he gives them all a chance to talk about what's going on in their lives. It's a great relationship builder. He's got an awesome team, and he commits to communicating to his employees. That is key. Clients and customers. I have to tell you, this one was not easy to find. We wanted examples of companies that do an awesome job of communicating with their clients and customers. And I have to tell you, I couldn't even put us on this list. So I think that's a huge growth opportunity for us, is how are we communicating with clients and customers? How many of you right now, when you hear that, and you're the client or the customer, can probably give me bad examples of client communication? Yeah, we had no problem there. Good examples of someone that's really doing a great job speaking to their clients and customers, we were struggling with. But Jen did find Whole Foods that we were doing a lot of work here in Rhode Island, and their 2009 goal was to engage with customers no matter where they spend their time. What was fascinating about that is they took the time to figure out how their customers wanted to receive information. Social media is changing our lives, and whether you like it or not, it is happening. And if you're communicating in any way with the younger generation, they are not communicating the way we communicate. And you need to embrace that. So they actually had Twitter accounts. What they found out is when they had a national Twitter account, it wasn't effective because they couldn't actually communicate on a local level. So they have 120 Twitter accounts across the country, empowering each store to have their own. They're figuring out how their customers want to receive information. That is our job. How often do we want to receive information? stopped with my bookkeeper. So how do you get to me directly with a message? You need to have conversations with me and engage me and me give you the information and tell you what I want. So communicating with clients and customers is key, and I'm dying to see someone show me